And now I give the call to the member for Richmond.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and I rise tonight to honour the memory and life of Rhoda Roberts AO, a Bundjalung Widjabul Waible elder whose presence, voice and spirit shaped not only the Northern Rivers but the cultural life of the entire nation. Rhoda was born in 1959 and raised on Bundjalung country, where her deep connections to land, culture and community were formed. That connection will become the foundation of everything she did. Even as her work took her onto the national and international stages, she remained grounded in where she came from. Rhoda's extensive career spanned several decades and encompassed a wide range of roles across broadcasting, performing arts, cultural policy and community leadership. She contributed to major national and international projects, and her expertise was sought across government, media and the arts sector, where she provided guidance on cultural policy, programming and community engagement. Many came to know Rhoda through her work in broadcasting, particularly as the first Aboriginal person to host a prime-time current affairs show on SBS. At a time when Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander perspectives were rarely represented in mainstream media, she played a critical role in bringing those voices into the national conversation. She helped to highlight Indigenous perspectives, challenging audience to listen more deeply and think more honestly about the country we share. Rhoda's work in television and radio was characterised by clarity, integrity and a commitment to truth-telling. Rhoda's work not only created space for Indigenous artists and perspectives, but also reshaped institutions themselves. Rhoda Roberts was a pioneering force in the development and promotion of Indigenous arts and culture in Australia. She held numerous leadership roles in major cultural institutions and was instrumental in reshaping the way these institutions engage with First Nations artists and communities. And of course, as we know, Rhoda coined the term "welcome to country" in the 1980s, initially for the arts sector and then indeed for the wider community, an important protocol that is now rightly observed right across the nation. She also worked as a creative director for the Sydney Olympics Awakening ceremony in the year 2000 and was appointed the inaugural head of Indigenous programming at the Sydney Opera House in 2012. Her work with major festivals, including as a creative director for the New Year's Eve celebrations from 2008 until 2011, helped elevate First Nations voices into some of the country's biggest stages. And of course, on the New South Wales North Coast, we were so privileged to benefit from Rhoda's immense talent in showcasing Indigenous culture through events like the Boomerang Festival and Blues Fest. Throughout all of her endeavours and achievements, Rhoda's dedication to sharing and celebrating First Nations culture was central to all of her work. And in recognition of her distinguished service to the arts and Indigenous communities, Rhoda was appointed an Officer of the Order of Australia. This honour reflected not only her professional achievements, but her enduring contribution to the cultural and social fabric of the nation. Rhoda understood the transformative power of culture. She recognised that storytelling is not merely an artistic practice, but a means of preserving history, asserting identity and fostering understanding. Through her work, she contributed to a broader national reckoning with Australia's past and present, and to a future in which First Nations voices are recognised as central, not peripheral. Rhoda's passing is a profound loss. It's felt not only by her family and close friends, of course, but across communities, industries and indeed generations. It leaves a silence where there was once a powerful voice, a voice that spoke truth, created change and brought people together. And indeed, that's the mark of a life well lived, not just what you achieve, but what you make possible for others. And whilst her absence is deeply felt, her legacy is everywhere. It endures in so many artists whose careers she supported and advanced, the institution she helped to transform, and the stories that continue to be told with honesty and pride. And Deputy Speaker, to Rhoda's family, I extend my deepest condolences. I acknowledge your loss and honour the life that has meant so much to many. May Rhoda Roberts rest in peace, and may her legacy continue to guide and inspire future generations.